It is another day in the silver market and it is another record all-time high. So just within the last couple of hours, we have now hit a price level we've never been to before in the history of silver. So if you actually have a very close look right here, you guys can see there is about $94.5 or even higher, 94.7. So potentially $95 for the silver price, which is looking incredibly strong. So exactly as we predicted, silver has continued to crush all-time highs. In this video, I'll give you guys my price analysis for silver. So where could the price of silver go in the future? What is the breaking massive silver news we're going to talk about right now, because we do have some live breaking news that I'll get you guys fully updated on. And I also want to tell you guys what's happening with the geopolitical situation, because that's impacting the silver price. This is why there is a massive rush to silver and precious metals, because people are just not sure about which way this world is going right now. And we'll have a look at the live prices. So how much can you actually buy some silver for? We're gonna talk about that and reveal the real prices of silver right now as well. So full video coming in right here. Appreciate you guys being here. And if you're new, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. Check out a lot of silver updates and precious metal updates. Now have a look at this. So we have just seen probably one of the strongest price growths in any precious metal, and it has been sustained as well for a long period of time. So just have a look at this epic climb of silver. I'm zooming it out over a couple of months right here, but just look at this. There really hasn't been much of a retrace. So there have been fudders along the journey who have said, you know, silver's going to crash back to $50. It's just not happening, right? It's not happening. This is what's the graph is showing us right here. But back in October, this thing started to wake up. So you had your first little price surge to about $54 right here, consolidating, boom, got some second energy, then ran up to about $58. We found some good support around 60 bucks right here, ran up again, $64. You can see a little bit of profit taking right here. And then started to really run up. There was a huge spike right here. So this was a very cataclysmic day on the silver market. Hit $83. Did retrace. Who remembers that? We were here right here on this channel analyzing this. Went down to $70. We had a very nice floor at $70. Boom, another attempt at an all-time high, rejected at about $83, but then again, we consolidate higher, about 73 bucks, and then boom, this is the big one. So we are heading potentially towards, you know, $100. And I have to say, look, as you get closer and closer to this obviously very key psychological level, which is $100, sometimes the resistance can start to crop up. We are starting to see that on the price graph. So you can see right here, there hasn't been a huge rejection, but it is starting to build. So $93, $90, if it can get enough energy, if these catalysts that we're going to talk about later on in the video can get strong enough, this is going to be extremely interesting for silver. And this is why, you know, there is a very high potential for this, not only just the short term, but I'm talking long term as well. So we have some crazy things to talk about. I want to remind you guys as well that the actual price that you can buy this right now, and I'm using reputable sources here in Australia, is you can only get this for literally more than $100 US, the physical stuff. So I've got some live prices, and this is just for demonstration purposes only. So today, it's 153.39. So I've just put that into the calculator. So it's nearly about $103. So there is roughly what, like a $9 premium. The real price is about a $9 premium. So at the moment, it's actually trading more than 100 USD for the physical stuff, the real stuff that can't be diluted, that can't just disappear out of your hands. This is the real deal. So we're actually at 100 USD here in Australia, plus for the physical based off the Perth Mint prices, right? So this is the Perth Mint prices. That's what they're telling us right here. And you can see a lot of these are not available anymore as we kind of navigate this journey. Now, the reason silver is continuing to rally, and the reason we're actually seeing a little bit of weakness in the stock market, it hasn't really been mooning as much. It's because of what's been happening around the world. We'll talk about the imports later, but again, we have this situation, and don't be fooled, don't be tricked about what's going on, because I'm telling you, there are multiple fronts to this. So it's not just one spot fire. We're going to pay attention to multiple. But have a look at this. There's a big focus at the moment on Greenland, right? So Trump is potentially sending military aircraft there. We also had live breaking news that you know, Denmark is sending more troops to Greenland. You can see this breaking footage coming in of the soldiers coming in from Denmark into Greenland. And it's more hostility, and it is just going very, very interesting right now. I also want to point out right here, you can see US military bombers are going missing from the facility Diego Garcia in the Indian Ocean. And last time they went missing is they went to go strike Iran. So these are getting moved around, right? So don't get too caught up in the headlines about Iceland, because there's still big stuff happening in the Middle East. So have a look at this one. US Abraham Lincoln and her carrier strike group observed passing westward through the Strait of Malacca overnight Sunday on their way to the Indian Ocean and eventually to the Middle East. So remember right there, you know, the mainstream media, all the focus is on Greenland, which is, you know, very interesting nonetheless, but it could also be a distraction play about what punishment is kind of heading to the Middle East right now. Remember, to move these assets around, these massive kind of ships, it takes time. It takes, you know, days, if not weeks, to move them around. So watch out for that right there. And we are seeing, again, record silver surges coming in. We're seeing India gobble up more and more surges. Right here we got silver hitting record highs. India's silver imports are going through the roof. Remember, you know, this type of asset, it crosses cultures, right? It crosses boundaries. There is no real geographical restriction to this. Everyone wants a bit of silver across many countries right here. Silver going to the moon. Also, have a look at this. I want to tell you guys, AI is starting to eat up jobs. Not only on like YouTube. So yesterday we talked about like AI YouTubers and things like that. But AI is going to eat a lot of jobs, right? It's happening literally right now. It's because the cost is getting reduced. AI is doing potentially, in some regards, not all regards, but AI is doing some really good stuff. I hate to admit it, but it is. And that's going to put a lot of people out of work. So this is, again, a huge, massive uncertainty. And as I've been predicting to you guys on the channel, guys, we're entering into like a very, very stormy patch of world history. It is extremely stormy. There are so many factors blowing around right now, and you really do need to prepare, because this storm is blowing around, and I think silver is a great lifeboat right now. But you can see right here, jobs going down. You can see right here in China, there is a big premium. But even if you just fact check this in Australia, right, you don't even need to go to Shanghai, China. You can see, like, you can't buy physical silver for less than $100. You can't even get it for $100. You have to pay like $103, right? We literally fact checked that. So yes, there is a premium, right? There is a huge premium right now. It's because the supply is dwindling. People are just holding this. They're not selling it. And we are seeing a lot more just volatility come into the world. So again, all eyes on Greenland at the moment, but don't be fooled by just the Greenland stuff. And I think Greenland, to some degree, it is a bit of a distraction. It is a bit of a meme. Honestly, I think the likelihood of you know, China and Russia invading and taking over Greenland, I think Trump knows the probability of that is super low. But you know, for whatever reason, he wants Greenland. He just wants it real bad. And we're going to see how that plays out. But again, this might be a big distraction from what's actually happening or arriving in the Middle East coming up in the future. And we have a look at some other, you know, breaking geographical, geopolitical data. Trump and now the Prime Minister of Norway as well. And unfortunately, this is also trickling into the stock market. So if you're holding stocks right now, or even crypto as well, you know, obviously this is having a risk impact on a lot of things at the moment. A lot of assets are going down, and there's more volatility in the Middle East as well. So there's just tons of stuff to watch out for right now. So I'd say, look, hold on to your seats as this silver journey continues on, and we're gonna have to see how this plays out. But I think there's some really good fundamental things behind silver. Remember, it's a required asset. You need this in the future economy, and copper's doing well. And you can see right here, copper's holding on strong, platinum's doing well, gold's doing well. So all the precious metals basically today doing very, very good, outperforming, you know, the stock market. Because, again, it's a risky environment right now. So people are uncertain. There's a lot of things going on. And guys, that's a major update for today. If you enjoy it, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. We're doing quite frequent updates right here on the channel. And yeah, that's today's update. And I will see you in the next update we have. Appreciate you guys watching. Economic Zeus signing out.